What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to the channel Eeps. I'm your host, EEPMON, episode 85. And I would like to continue with my travel stories because I have lots to share. Get ready, folks. I have a real fun one for you. This episode, I will talk about how I met face to face with Leonardo DiCaprio. You heard me right. Leonardo DiCaprio. So, it happened, of course, in Tokyo, Japan. I won't talk about how I got into the whole LA Hollywood industry people yet. That'll be another episode, but I'll just get right to the point with the DiCaprio story. I met Brett Ratner, who is was the executive producer of The Revenant. If you remember that, Revenant was a movie that starred DiCaprio, which is a fantastic movie, which was released in 2015, and of course won many, many awards, in which he won Best Actor, by the way, for I believe it's the 88th Academy Awards, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so I was introduced to Brett Ratner through my contacts back then, prior to the launch of that movie. I didn't know that he was filming it. But what I do know is that, we've been keeping in touch. And I remember when I landed in Japan, before that, I was in Hong Kong. And I noticed in the media that they were doing the Asia leg of promoting the film. So I said, "Oh, that's kind of cool." They did their North American launch, they're traveling, and now they're doing the Asia leg. And I think they were at the Beijing International Film Festival at the time. So I didn't think much of it because he's busy and he's got his thing to do. But when I landed in Tokyo, I remember I landed in Tokyo. It was at Haneda Airport. And I had the longest. It was very unusual because usually when we get off the plane and we go through the whole process to get through the security checkpoint, it usually is pretty seamless. But this time, there was a long queue, a long line. I'm like, why is it so like I finally got out. I'm tired, dead tired, and my friend was there to receive me, and I asked, like, what's going on? This is so weird. Why is it so like a big traffic jam with the backlog of people? And my friend said to me, "Oh, it's because Leonardo DiCaprio just landed in Haneda as well. You use Haneda or Narita?" Which of course he takes priority for clearance and security. I'm sure he has a security detail and all that. So I was like, wait a second, weren't they just in Beijing? And if they were, if DiCaprio is in Tokyo, then that means Brett must be in Tokyo too, because he is the executive producer. So immediately the next day, as I remember taking the train, the Hanzomo line train, and then I was going towards. I had a meeting at the Canadian Embassy in Tokyo, and I was there. I was just on my way there. I said, "You know what? I'm going to email him. I'm gonna reach out to him. I'm like, hey, you're here and I'm here. Why don't we just like sync up and say hi?" So I did. I wrote to him. I go, "Hey, Brett, I hear that you're in the city. I'm here too. What are the chances? Why don't we meet up?" And then literally, I said, 4 minutes later, he replied, and he says, "Hey, meet me at the Ritz-Carlton at 4 p.m. I fly out at 6. So I think they're literally, I don't know what his schedule was, but he's literally bam, bam. He's like in and out kind of thing, right? So I was like, okay, let's do it. So on the same day, good thing I didn't have any plans that afternoon. took the Tokyo public transit, and I went straight to the Ritz Carlton in Roppongi Hills. Beautiful hotel, beautiful hotel. I remember I would go in through the entrance, and you have to take the elevator up to, if I recall, was it the 55th floor? Like the reception lobby was at like really high up, like the 50th or some sort of floor, the 50th floor or something like that. I could be mistaken, but that's what it felt like. We went up. Okay. I went there, and it was the main lobby, and it was really packed. There's so many people at the in the lobby. I was like, man, we're gonna find this guy. So I was sitting down, wrote to him, hey, I made it, and I'll just sit and look for the guy with the EEPMON cap. And then several minutes later, of course, you could spot Brett, and he's there, and he's looking for me. Like, hey, how's it going? And, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, it's great to see you. And because we were connected through a mutual friend in Los Angeles, so it's a small world. And and I remember he was chatting with me, and he's like, yeah, he literally off the bat, like, like, let's wait. And then it was so busy that it was so like there's so many people talking that we decided to go to more of a private bar. So yeah, he said, you know what, this is crazy. Let's go to a private bar. So I think in the Ritz Carlton there's the main lobby, but then I think we went a couple floors up, and it was more of a private bar. We go inside, and that place, I tell you, it was the most beautiful like private bar lounge, as I recall. And we had the receptionists or the waitresses, but they're not waitresses. They're like they're in full down, like full kimono. They're in decked out kimono, okay, and immaculate customer service. It was incredible. But I remember because we're not, like, I mean, the Hollywood world, the vibe in a different way. And I remember Brett, we were looking at the menu. We're having high tea, right? Macarons and stuff like that. And remember, he's like, you're telling the waitress, like, what's that? What's that red juice? What is that red juice over there? What's that? Oh, that's raspberry juice or cranberry juice. Oh, you get that over there. Oh, you get this, you get that. It's just really like, really, really ad hoc. And it was funny because for me, when you're in Japan and you're in kimono, I always, just there's some sort of like, I think that there's some sort of formality and protocol when it comes to like ordering food. It's just the atmosphere. But Brett was like, "Get this, get this." I was like, "All right, man. I mean, that's how they vibe. That's the energy, right?" So you gotta imagine. You gotta be in my situation. Okay, I arrived in Japan halfway around the world, a little bit jet lagged, but just like I mentioned in my previous episode, I was like domain expansion. Like I'm in like the other side of the world, new dimension. Okay, but of course, fortunately, like I go there enough that I'm very experienced. And I know how to pivot, and I know the culture. So for me, adjustment no problem because it's like Japan's like my second home, right? But to think about that, but despite that, you're in another country, another world, different vibe. Ritz Carlton, Roppongi Hills, meeting the executive producer who was from, at the time he was in LA, having a nice conversation at the Ritz Carlton at this private bar. Like, how does all this come together? Like, and so I'm thinking in my mind, like, I see some crazy shit, okay? But this is like, this tops it all. Like just regards to the alignment of this like energies and people. And then he sat down. So yeah, and right away he's like, "Let me see your work." I was like, "Okay, really?" So and good thing I wasn't sure if I should bring my laptop, but I brought my laptop. Showed my work. He looked at my stuff. He's like, "Oh wow, I like this." And he's like, and he really liked one of my pieces, and he bought it right on the spot. He bought one of my artworks right on the spot. I kid you not. It was just like, okay. It's like, oh, and then, but anyway, he was him, and I believe he had at the time. I think he had an assistant that was with him. And we're just talking and like, how are things, and keeping it busy with the film, and congratulations. And then literally like 10 minutes later, guess who walks into the private bar? There's Leonardo DiCaprio with some of his buddies. This picture of he's almost like the Wolf of Wall Street sort of like vibe. He got a, I believe he had like this V-neck T-shirt, very simple, sunglasses, right there. Comes in, and then Brett and DiCaprio were just having a chat. Like I'm sitting next to Brett, right? And he stands up, lounge, and talks to Leo, and then Brett goes, "Oh, Leo, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric. Eric, this is Leo." And then Leo comes to me and he looks at me. He's like, "Hi, my name's Leo." Shakes my hand. I said, "Hi, I'm Eric." And I guess wow. I know who the hell you are, but they, even in that world, formalities. You got to shake hands, introduce yourself. Uh, I'm not like I'm not starstruck or anything like that, but I wasn't okay. I wasn't starstruck, but I was certainly a little bit off my element because, well, okay, maybe I was off my element because don't forget, like of all, like I mentioned, all the different energies that was in that room where I was situated. Flew in literally the day before, okay, or was it the day of? No, sorry, I think it was the day. It was the day before. It was the next day. I had the meeting the day, so I flew in before that, and then it's just, and then you're with these A-list, like triple A-list freaking actor, right? Like we're with the crew, like the media would kill to have access of that private time, and here I was just like just, "Hey, how's it going?" Now, I told you about my story about the supermoon in my previous episodes about my travels. I'll probably talk about it again later in the future, where it was the most spiritual energy connection that I experienced in my life. This scenario was like the most energy intense, serendipitous, like meetings of people, of talent, of this. I could just feel the aura, the energy in that room was just so powerful. I could feel it. It was just so intense. The vibration was so intense. Whereas when I saw the supermoon, it was very serene, very one-to-one conversation with my, I guess, my subconscious and my spirit. So it was very blissful. But that situation, it was, the vibration and the energy was incredible, and it was exciting. And I was like, I need to get this energy. I need to know what this energy is about. I need to know more about what this vibe is about, right? Like, going, when I remember when I first went to New York, that same energy was like, what is this? This is like, what is this energy that New York has? Like, I need to understand that. The same thing for LA. Now in Hollywood, I was like, this energy is incredible. What is this? Um, and that's how I felt. And when we had a chat, and then Brett goes, "Yeah, like, so yeah, Eric, show Leo your work." So I was now like showing my portfolio to Leonardo DiCaprio, and no, of course we. It felt like, looking back, I wish I would have said, "Yeah, I go, Leo. By the way, if you ever need an artist to do some really cool artwork, or you want, I'm your point man. I'll be the guy to do it." Like, I should have, just should have did that. But what can that's, you can't go back. But I do recall how how the energy was so different, but it was such a great experience. So anyway, that was the day, and then we caught up, and and we said, well, let's keep in touch, and we will, we see where it goes in the future, and that was it. And then Brett had to go. I think he had to fly somewhere else, and then the literally, I think, like, they come down, they do the show. I think they have different they have itinerary, so they got to go from city to city. I have no idea, but it's like boom, 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 boom. But yeah, it was awesome. And again, I go back to that conversation about like how like the energy was so powerful, and I was very curious about it. Like I don't know what it is, but I have this sort of this sense, this very strong sense for these. Like I have a knack for these sort of like sensing energies, and it's something that if it excites me and I'm curious, that means it's a signal to me that I must explore it, right? So to this day, um, I keep tabs with my contacts around the world, including the folks in Los Angeles, and who have a connection with the movie industry, of course. And from there, I have over the years built some really great friendships. Okay. And as to whether these friendships will manifest to something else down the road, perhaps an opportunity or a design or something, I don't know. I do not know. But I could say that it's absolutely incredible and exciting and amazing that, again, I talk about how, even though, I'm a creative entrepreneur, that being said, but really the core focus of what I do is digital arts and arts, STEAM, arts in the STEM narrative. Like art connects to everything. And as I mentioned in my previous episode, if I get the fact that my art can reach to new audiences, new domains, like new domain expansions to other dimensions in the world, how exciting is that? That's so cool. Really, that's my ROI, my return on investment, or my like I am completely content. The fact that art can do that. Art connects to people. And as I mentioned too, like art is as close, or creativity is as close as magic. We're magic. We deal in the realm of magic, folks. That's why creativity and art is so incredible. It's innovative. It's pouring out. It's our spirit pouring out into the world, into the physical realm. And by connecting people with art, it's just sometimes I'm so baffled by that. Sometimes I'm like so astounded, like, wow, I did that. I got to I reached out to these folks. It's so cool. So yeah, that's my Leonardo DiCaprio story, folks. Now, as do I keep in touch with him? No, I don't. But I still have my connections with that world. And in fact, on that note, if you're still listening, and thank you for listening to my story, please like and subscribe, by the way. I will be back in Los Angeles around November. Like as I said, August time's a little slow. Got some projects here and there, but really my travel itinerary is going to start to ramp up starting September. September will have me at Whitehorse, Yukon for the Banff Forum. I'm looking forward to that. And then all of October, I'll be out of the country. I'll be in Japan doing my tour and, business tour. Probably will be mostly situated in Tokyo, Yokohama, Osaka, maybe Kyoto, and Kumamoto. Yeah, that's it. So I need a plan for that. November will be LA. And maybe December too. But anyway, that's Arc 4. That's EEPMON Arc 4. That's it. Boom, boom. So exciting times, folks. And as I mentioned, I'm traveling and people that go, well, what's it going to do? What's the ROI? How's that going to help you? And I always tell people, I have no effing clue, yo. I don't know. But I do know this. If I stay stagnant, if I stay complacent, and always worry about what if, then certainly nothing will get done. And certainly you will not find the opportunities. Because the opportunities is, like I mentioned, you may have this really fuzzy goal. You have a goal, but it's usually the derivative, the things that are surrounds the goal is where the magic happens. So perhaps some magic will happen when I go into my travels. But we will only find out, folks, because I will do the channel Eeps while traveling, of course. I'll be doing the channel Eeps when I'm in Whitehorse, Tokyo, LA, maybe Hong Kong. We'll see. Maybe Hong Kong. I do need to go to Hong Kong at some point. As to whether it will be this year or next year, it is undetermined. But yes, I do have some things to do over there. Anywho, my gear is rolling again. See, I told you, it doesn't shut off. I'm always thinking. I'm always like planning. Because that is what I do and that is how I live. And if, it is what it is. Anywho, enough me spielen. I hope you have a great evening, a great afternoon, and a good morning wherever you are in the world. This is Channel Eeps. Until next time, episode 85 is a close, and talk to you tomorrow. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed my talk. I think it's really fun. But yeah, bye-bye. Oh shit. Bye-bye.